Hello everyone, welcome to another Natural Beauty instruction video. Today we're going to be installing a fence in beautiful South Amityville right along the water. I'm here with my father Dennis, one of our top installers Jose Jimenez, and Juanito over here, our helper.
Today we're going to be installing a 4-foot high black chain link fence with a top rail and a bottom rail because they want to make sure the dog can't push through the bottom of the fence. And we're going to be securing it to a bulkhead, which is a different type of an installation. We don't need our post hole diggers or cement or wheelbarrows today. We're going to be securing it right to a bulkhead. Pretty much everything that we do today can be used for a 4-foot fence, 5-foot high fence, 6-foot high fence. It really doesn't matter. A lot of what we're doing today you can do in a installation where we're actually digging holes and setting concrete. The concept of installing chain link is going to be the same.
And keep in mind throughout the tutorial, ladies and gentlemen, that all of the materials and parts shown in this video are available for purchase and delivery nationwide. Simply call or text the number below to reach me directly and I will assist you in your order. In addition, if you would prefer to have us do the installation for you, we are available to service New York and beyond. Give us a call or text at the number below. I will come to your house, measure the property, and then work with you to figure out which style of fence best suits your taste and your budget. Now let's get into the tutorial.
Let's just go over some of the tools you're going to need for this installation. You're going to need a drill. We use battery tools so we don't drag around a cord all day. But you need the drill with 2 bits. You're going to need a bit for the fastener that we're going to be using to secure the fence to the bulkhead. And you're going to need a 1/2-inch socket to tighten all the nuts and bolts. You're also going to need a level to make sure everything stays level. You need a sawzall to cut your pipe, a string line to make sure you're staying in a straight line, a pencil to mark anything that you need to cut, and the rubber mallet is simply just to put the caps on at the end of the job. You're going to need a pair of pliers. These are fence pliers. The pliers cut the wire. You can use this part right here to cut the wire, right there, and then we need this to put the tie on and tighten the ties. So you're going to need a pair of fence pliers. So this is pretty much everything you need besides your trusty tape measure. You'll always need a tape measure. First thing we're going to go over is the fittings for each of your end posts and corner posts. The acorn cap goes on the top of the post. Your brace band is going to secure the top rail and the bottom rail to the end post and corner post with a railing cup and a nut and bolt. The tension band is going to hold the chain link in place with the tension bar and another nut and bolt. So this is everything you need for your end posts and corner posts. And again, the size of the fence, the height of the fence is going to determine how many of each pieces you need. The posts that are in between your end posts and corner posts we call the line posts. Those posts are going to be spaced. We try to keep it under 10 feet and above 7 feet, so anywhere from 7 to 10 feet. So what we do is we set our 2 end posts and we measure the distance between. If it's 60 feet, then we're going to space each post at 10 feet. All right, but if it's less, say it's 57 feet, we don't want to do 10, 10, 10, 10, and then have a 7-foot space at the end. So what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of uncomplicated math and we'll figure out what the spacing on each post is going to be. Every line post is going to get a loop cap that goes on top of the post. And the way you size a loop cap, this one is 2-inch by 1 3/8. The 2-inch is the part that goes on the 2-inch line post. The 1 3/8 is the rail that goes through it. So that's a 2-inch by 1 3/8 loop cap. Same thing with the line boulevard. That goes on the bottom of the fence to secure the bottom rail, and it's sized the same way. It's a 2 by 1 3/8 line boulevard, and you'll need 2 nuts and bolts with the line boulevard. The next thing we're going to talk about is how do we secure the fence to the bulkhead, and how do we secure the chain link to the post. For securing the flanges to the bulkhead, most people go with some kind of a lag screw, a galvanized lag screw. You know, the length is going to be determined by the depth of the wood you're going into. We opted not to go with lag screws. We're going with this product right here. It's a structural screw, 3/8 by 3.5 inch. It's a little bit more pricey than a lag screw, but they come in black, which is nice because this is a black fence. And they're coated, have a lifetime guarantee. There's no need to pre-drill with these. They go in extremely easy. It's a great product, a little bit more money than a lag, but it's going to save you a lot of time, and it's going to look better, and you don't have to paint it at the end. So that's to secure the pipes to the bulkhead. To secure the chain link to the framework, which is the top rail, bottom rail, and the line post, we use what they call fence ties. Those come in different lengths depending on the size of the pipe. We're using a 6.5 inch tie because the pipe is only 1 3/8 and 2-inch line posts. This job is going to have one gate. This is the gate over here. Let me pick it up and show you. Oh my God, it's 44 inches, and it's 44 inches, but I wanted a 48-inch gate. Oh my. Okay, that's okay, because you need 4 inches of space, 2 inches on either side, to accommodate the hardware. So a 48-inch gate is going to measure 44 inches tip to tip. Always measure the gate, because the welder who makes these gates, he might make it 44 1/4 inches or 43 7/8 inches. I don't want to have too much space or too little space. So I'm going to measure the tip to tip on this gate, and I'm going to make the space 4 inches more than that. So this gate, we add a little bit of scroll work on top. It looks nice. But anyway, this is our gate. To secure the gate to the 2 posts, you need gate hardware, and this is your residential gate hardware right here. You're going to need 2 post hinges. Those go on the post. This is your frame clamp. Your frame clamp, this part here goes around the gate frame. This part simply goes in there, and then you have a working hinge like this. It's really great, easy to use. And then to lock the gate, you need 2 collars. This goes around the frame of the gate, and then you have a fork latch that goes around the post, and we'll show you all this when it's done later. Okay, so this is your gate hardware. You're going to need 2 of these, 2 of these, and 1 of those. Obviously, you're going to need chain link wire. We said this job is going to be 4 foot high. We have 4 foot high black chain link over here. It's a 2-inch by 9 gauge wire, which is pretty common for residential, at least in the Northeast. The 2-inch is the diamond size, and the 9 gauge is how thick the wire is. You can go thicker. A 6 gauge is actually thicker than a 9 gauge, you know, so as the gauge goes down, it's a thicker wire. 9 gauge is common for residential. And we talked about top rail and bottom rail. This is our top rail and bottom rail right here, 1 3/8. Okay, top rail and bottom rail. And the top rail and the bottom rail, you'll see each piece of rail comes one side. They call it swedged. So this right here will fit into the other side of another piece of top rail. Really nice. They just lock together, and we'll show you how that works later. But this is your 1 3/8 top rail. Let's go to the posts. Last but not least, you're going to need your terminal posts, your end posts and corner posts, and you need your line posts. And you're probably thinking, how are we going to attach it here? We can't dig a hole. What we did on the bottom of each post is we welded a flange. We used a 4-inch flange, and we're simply going to put these down, and we're going to bolt them down to the bulkhead. How did I know how high to make these posts? We have 2 different size pipes here. This one is a 2.5-inch pipe. This one is a 2-inch pipe, both welded to a flange. We have a 48-inch fence here. We want this post, the end post and the corner post, to stick above the wire, to be a little bit higher than the wire. So these I had cut at 51 inches. Okay, these are all 51 inches. So you'll see why later on. The line post is going to sit below the wire because we're going to take the loop cap, put it on top, and put the top rail through here. And this is going to be, all said and done, 48 inches from here to the bottom. So typically I do my terminal posts about 2 to 3 inches higher than the height of the wire, and my line post about an inch, inch and a quarter below the height. So these I have cut at 46 3/4 inches. These are cut at 51 inches. All right, now we're going to start installing fencing. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to set our 2 gate posts because we want those to be spaced evenly. Follow me. When they put their boat here, they have a set of stairs to go into the water, so they're going to want a gate here. We can't run the gate directly in line with where the fence is going to be, so what we're going to do is we're going to come close to the stairway, come out a little bit, and then make the gate opening, and then come back in and finish the run. They wanted a 4-foot wide gate, and they wanted it to be 2 feet of space between the fence and the gate. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set the 2 gate posts at 48 inches. The whole purpose of this fence, like we said, is to keep a small dog in the backyard. She's afraid of the dog going for a swim and not coming back. So if you see where this deck ends, all right, if I were to put this on the end of the deck right here, she has a nice sized gap leading into the neighbor's property there. But they're pretty friendly, the 2 people, and they already spoke, and they said this post, she's okay if we put it on the deck right here and make no gap. So this post over here is going to go onto the neighbor's property, basically. But again, both neighbors agreed to it. We wouldn't just put it on the neighbor's property. It's really important when you're going along property lines to talk to your neighbor. And if you're putting your fence up because you don't like the neighbor, that's an issue. You don't want to be on their property, and you don't want them coming out and yelling at the fence guy the day of the job. So you hire a licensed surveyor. They'll come and mark out the property and tell you exactly where the fence should go. And we're good. We're good. All right, we're solid. Now, if you see, we have our 2 end posts in, and we said what we're going to do now is we're going to space our line posts. Like I said, you try to keep it no less than 7 feet and no more than 10 feet. If you go more than 10 feet, the top rail can sag, and we don't want that. So we're going to try to keep it between 7 and 10 feet. And to determine that, we're going to measure from post to post, which they're going to do now. So Juanito, go to your mark, and I'm so excited to find out how many feet we have here. We're in luck here. We have exactly 60 feet. So what we're going to do is we're going to space our posts every 10 feet.
Yes, sir.
It just worked out that way, so we're lucky. Every 10 feet, we're going to do a post. Okay. All right. What we're going to do now is we're going to tie a string line. We have an end over here. I found the easiest way to tie a string line is to make a loop on one end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the string like this. Now I have a little bit of a loop. I'm going to take my string, I'm going to feed it through here. Okay, and you're going to see why in a second. Now I have this bigger loop. I'm going to take this loop, I'm going to put it around my post. And now I'm going to take my string, we have all the line posts set on this side of the gate. So we're going to take the string line down, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to tie the string line, and we're going to measure the distance between the two posts and space the bays accordingly. Now that we have all the pipe in, I like to do the top rail first. I want to put the top rail in, and then I'll put the bottom rail in. But if you don't put all your fittings on first, you're kind of screwed, because what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to separate these, open them up, squeeze them around the post. You want to put all your fittings on before you put your top rail on. We're going to need a brace band. We told you we're going to need one brace band for the bottom, and a 4-foot high fence is going to get 3 tension bands, so 3 bands to hold the fence in place. If you go 5 foot and 6 foot, you're going to use more tension bands. You're just simply adding material as the higher you go with the fence. And if, for example, if you do a 145 foot fence, you're going to need what, about a 85? 85. All right. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bottom brace bands on, and he's going to follow with these. Each of the end posts, the 1, 2, and the end post down there, are going to get 1 of these and 3 of these. Yes, but your corner posts have to go in 2 directions, so you're going to get 2 of these and 6 of these. And the important thing to remember is you could put the brace band on any way, it doesn't matter, but when you put the tension band on, you see the little bend? Your tension band has, if you look at it, has a bent side and a straight side. Our wire is going to be on the outside of the post. It's going to be on the water side. So what you want to do is you want to put it on like this. You get a shot like this. The flat part is going to go on the side that the wire is going to sit on. So the wire is going to sit on the outside of the pipe. This is going to sit like this. Okay? All right. So yes, sir. Jose is going to follow me. I'm going to drop 1 of these on here, and then he's going to drop 3. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to put another brace band for the top. All right, now we're going to go down to the other end. All right, this is a corner post, so we're going to have a piece of bottom rail going that way and a piece this way. So I need 1 to go this way, and hold off, and 1 to go this way. Now he's going to do, let me show, we're going to do these opposite. This is going to be on the outside here. Now this one is going to face this way, like this. Then we're going to put another one going this way, and another one going this way, another one going this way, and another one going this way. Now we're going to do a piece of top rail going that way, and a piece of top rail going this way. Now we're going to do this side over here. This is only going to face go one way because this is a gate opening. So we're going to do one over here, and then we're going to do 3. 1, 2, and 3, and then one more for the top rail. We're going to have bottom rail going this way, and bottom rail going this way. Now we're going to do, again, we're going to do one going this way, one going this way, one going this way, a second one going this way, another one going this way, and another one going this way. Top rail. There we go. Down to the end. Now we have bottom, and he's going to put 3 and 3, and now top rail. And I bought an extra because I've been known to drop things in the water, and I didn't want to have to drive back to Wantor. It's for one of these. All right. Next step is we have all the fittings on. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to put our top rail on. To secure the top rail to the end post, we're going to use a rail end cup like this. And to secure it on top of the line post, we're going to use these loop caps. Now, like the tension band, you're going to notice the loop cap has a bend in it like this. All right. The loop cap, the bent end is going to sit over the side that has the wire, because you see, if you look at this bent part, it's going to be in line with the post. Like that. This side is in line with the cap. So if you do this side on the side where the wire is, when you tie the wire, if you look at the wire, it's going to look like it bends in a little bit by every cup, and it's going to look weird. Most people wouldn't notice it, but anybody watching this who knows anything is going to say, Dennis, you put those cups on the wrong way. So we're not going to do that. We're going to put them on the right way. Okay. So you're going to hold that, and he's going to get a nut and bolt. You have nuts and bolts?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you got the drill ready?
Ready.
Okay, now, I told you with the top rail, one part is swedged and the other part is not. I want the non-swedged part to start in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around, like so, and make this easy. I'm going to put these on now. I'm going to just slide this on, 1, 2, and then we're going to walk this over. Jose is going to grab one side, and we're going to just walk this over. It's really not that heavy. We don't need 3 people, but why not? Now, let go. We're just going to sit this on top of the here, and he's going to sit that on top of there. Now he's going to attach it to the post on the end. He's going to make sure it goes on level. He's going to put a level on top, pick up that bottom brace band, and attach it in there. And notice which way he puts the nut and bolt. You want the nut not on the side of the wire. You want to slip it in from the wire side out so that that nut doesn't get caught up in the wire. I'm going to hold that so it doesn't fall. You're good, just finish it off. Now we're going to put another piece of top rail on. Okay, Juanito put the caps on, and look, he put them on the right way. Excellent. We're going to walk this over. And watch how easy this goes together. We're going to sit it on top of here, and now watch how those two sides connect. Oh, beautiful. And you want to make sure when you connect it that you don't pull it out of the cup on the end. So before we do the last piece, we just walk back over here and make sure It didn't come out of the cup. Nope, it is perfect. Now, we have to cut a piece for the end, all right? So, easy way of doing it. I know the measurement for the brace band and the railing cup sits 1.5 inches off of the post. From the post to the railing cup is 1.5 inches. So I don't have to carry something over and try to mark it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure from the terminal post to the edge of the top rail, and then whatever that measurement is, I'm gonna deduct 1.5 inches. Jose's gonna cut it and it's gonna fit like a glove. Let's go. We're gonna measure to the swedge. So we have here 230, got that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we got 238 inches minus a half is 236.5. So can you please cut us a piece? 236.5, not from the swedged end, from the opposite end. Boom.
Yes, sir.
Like this. Jose is going to grab another railing cup and a nut and a bolt. I'll just slide that on there. Up. Railing cup. Okay. Now, this is where we got to think a little bit. We have a piece of top rail coming this way and a piece of top rail coming this way. How do we make sure this one and this one are going to be level? If we put both railing cups facing up, then they're not going to line up. So what we're going to do is the top one, we're going to face going down. The bottom one is going to face up, and the two pieces of top rail are going to line up opposite. The top one is going to angle down, the bottom one is going to angle up. Okay, so let's put the top one in first. And again, he's going to level this off.
Hold this for me, Pop.
Right there. And go. All right. Okay, so now we're going to put this one angled up. And okay. Now, tape measure. We're going to measure between these two posts. Okay, we got 30 inches. We're going to cut a 27-inch piece. We're taking 1.5 inches off for each side. The distance between here is 30 inches minus 3 inches, 27 inches. He will go cut us a piece. No swedge though, we don't need a swedge. Here. And who's got that level? He's got the level. Who's got the level? Right about there. Good. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the other side now, and I'm going to bring it this way. Do you want to speed this part up? Okay. 129.5. Now we're going to do the bottom rail. We have all the top rails set. If you look, all the top rail is in place. Now again, I'm going to make it real easy. I'm going to measure the bottom with Juanito, and we're going to yell out the measurement to Jose. Jose is going to cut the rail and just place it in front, and then when we have all the rail cut, boom, 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 we're going to get it done. We know that for the brace band and the railing cup, we deduct 1.5 inches. For the boulevard, it's a little bit less. Boulevard's going to go on like this on the bottom, and it's going to hold the bottom rail. However, it goes all the way to here. If you notice that nut and bolt is about 1 inch. So we're going to measure the distance between each of these posts, and we're going to deduct 2.5 inches. Actually, we're going to deduct 2 3/4 inches. Give a little bit of room in there so we don't have to push it too hard to get it in. Tell me when you're ready.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Okay. We have 122 inches. I'm going to deduct what did I say? 2 3/4 inches. So easiest for me is to deduct 3 inches and add 1/4 in my head because I'm not that smart. So we got 122 minus 3 is 119 plus 1/4. 119 1/4 inches. Okay. So on the rail end side, we're taking off 2 3/4 inches, 1 inch for the boulevard and 1.5 inches for the rail end cup. But for the line post, we're going boulevard to boulevard, so we're going to take off just 2 inches. So whatever the measurement is, we're deducting 2 inches. Got it? Okay. 119 3/4. All right. Okay, 121. Next. 122. Now, we're back to 2 rail end cups. So we're going to deduct the 3 inches again. 26 3/4. So now we're going to set the bottom rail. There's no hard and set formula on how high the bottom rail needs to be. We don't want it to be higher than the dog because the dog is small, and we don't want it too low that we can't get it under it and tie it later. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep it up about that much. So he's going to set the first one, rail end cup facing up, and he's going to set it about that far off the ground, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches above the ground, and then simply we're just going to keep it level the rest of the way. And since the deck is pretty level, it'll consistently be about 1.5 inches, 2 inches above the deck. Makes it real simple to do. Okay, so all right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to lift this up to level and about there, and now we're going to tighten, but just tighten it one side. Now we're going to slip the other one in, and when this one is in, we'll finish tightening it. So this is going to go in here now. Okay, now I'm just going to tighten both sides. And we're going to move down with the level. Okay. Now we're going to slip this in.
Okay.
Okay. And this is the easy way of doing it. We're not going back and forth, cutting, measuring, cutting. I've seen guys where they do one and then they go back and they measure and they cut and then they go back and that's tiring. We got all the cutting done and now we're just installing bottom rail. It's real easy like this. So this is the way I prefer to do it. The railing cups have a bend to it. The bottom one, if you remember from here, is going to face up. So we're doing the bottom one first. The bottom one is facing up, and the one on top is going to face down again. Okay. There we go. That's going to look so much better. All right. Now.
Una Bulkhead. Una Bulkhead.
Oh, look at how easily that fits. $93 and a quarter. 93. $87. 87. We have the all the pipe up now, the bottom rail, the top rail. This is called the framework. We have all the framework up. The only thing left to do now is to put on the chain link wire, hang the gate, put the caps on the end post and the corner post, tie the fence, and we're done. We've been here for about 3.5 hours, maybe not, about 3 hours. We've been here. It took it's taken us 3 hours to get all the framework up, to set all the pipe, space everything, and get ready for the chain link and the gate. About 3 hours, and it's about 100 feet of fencing. It's a lot of fencing for 3 hours, but we pretty much planned everything out before we got here. We cut the terminal posts to the correct height. We cut the line posts to the correct height. We had all the material laid out before we started. The worst thing you could do is keep running to your toolbox or your truck. I got to get this tool, I got to get that tool. You saw the way Jose laid everything out when we got here. Everything was laid out. We separated the brace bands and the tension bands and the rail end cups, so we didn't have to go looking for anything. It was just done neatly, and that'll trim hours off of a job. It really will. Work smart, work less. So what we're going to do now is that we have all of this done, is we're going to do a little bit of a cleanup, because you see we have like cut pieces of pipe here. We have all this stuff on the, we're going to throw all the garbage in the truck, and when we come back, we're going to show you how we stretch the chain link, okay? And you know what? You made me realize we forgot to show one tool.
Yes, sir. Cable?
We forgot to show the cable for pulling the chain link. My. So we're going to show it to you next. I cut myself a couple of pieces of scrap wire. You know, if you don't have wire, you could use pieces of rope, or even take a link out of the chain link and use it. This is going to help us so that the wire doesn't fall as we're unrolling it. You'll see how we use it in a second. Now, the easiest way to stretch chain link, when you're stretching the wire, it's really difficult to stretch into an obstructed area. Like if I was trying to stretch the chain link this way, this post is in the way, and I'm here and I can't work, okay? So it makes it really difficult. So what I want to do is I want to tie the wire here and pull it that way, because down on that end there's nothing in my way. Right, Jose?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I think we should bring the wire down there and just carry it around. So let's bring the roll of wire to the end, and then we're going to, you'll see. Now this is a little bit more difficult because we're working with, we have no room to play. If we drop the wire, Alex is going to have to go swimming, and I don't think he'll mind, but we don't want to do that. We're going to unroll the wire and bring it down there, and every so often we're going to put one of these metal ties on it. This is the important part. When I put the metal tie on it, I'm going to be stretching the wire this way towards the open end. You don't want to put the metal tie on this side, because when you start stretching it, eventually it's going to hit the post. So what you want to do is put the metal tie on this end, so as you're stretching, it's just getting pulled this way, and it's not going to hit anything. Okay, now if you notice, we don't have enough wire, obviously. The wire comes in a roll of 50 feet. We have 60 feet here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie it to the end, and then we're gonna add 10 feet of wire onto it. And it's really simple to mesh two pieces together, and we're gonna show you how. Okay, let's get this to the end and tie it off. I tell me when you're at the end, kid. Okay, now, before he lets go, we're gonna put a couple of ties. See, I told you, we're gonna put it on this side right here. I'm gonna put a tie real loose so that it doesn't fall into the wire, into the water. Okay, I'm gonna put another one over here. And the reason I say loose is if you do it too tight, you're not gonna be able to pull the wire. You wanna be able to pull the wire. This one I'm going to do a little bit closer over here, so that makes it easy to tie the two of them together. But I'm going to take it off before we stretch. Okay, one more. All right. The wire is up and it's not falling into the ocean, so that's a positive. Now we're going to take a tension bar like I showed you before. Let me see the tension bar. The tension bar slides easily into the wire, kind of like this. Watch. It just slides in like this. Okay, and then you're going to put a tension band on the end and tie it. So he's going to put it on the last link and then tie it up. And you have 3 tension bands. You're going to space them kind of evenly. You don't have to take out a tape measure, eyeball it, and just make sure it's kind of even. Real simple. Now, before he puts that on, you see how he lifted it? He lifts it up so that it's at the right height. I want the wire, when we're done with the fence, I want the wire to sit about here, where the link is just a little bit above the top rail. I don't want it to sit below the top rail. I want it to just sit just above the top rail. It looks better. I like the way it looks. And if this was like a security fence, the top would have little barbed, sharp ends on it, and it would prevent kids from, people from climbing over the fence. Not just kids, anybody. Nefarious characters. All right.
The Fast and Nefarious.
All right. Why don't you just pull that green tag off of the chain link. We have to join that roll of chain link to this roll of chain link. How are we going to do that? If you notice, when we unrolled the chain link, there was this straggler. It's not garbage. They put this here for a reason so that we could join it to that. If you look at the way this ends, come on over here, Alex. You see, each diamond is made up of 2 pieces of wire. 2 pieces of wire make up a diamond. So over here, you see we have a half a diamond, okay? What we need to do is we need to join that roll to this piece over here. Now, I'm going to take that roll, I'm going to take a full diamond and bring it over to here. And then when I join the 2 of them together, I'm going to have a diamond and it's going to join together. If I bring the roll over with a half showing and put this in, then I'm going to have a diamond and a piece just hanging out there. That's not going to work. So I take a full roll and I make sure that I start it with the full diamond, and then I weave in the loose straggler that they gave me, and I'm going to have a full diamond, and I'm going to close it up, and it's going to look like it was made at the factory. Look at that big strong man.
Rice and beans, I was there.
So you see Alex over here, he brought it over and we have a half a link on showing. We can't bring this over, so what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over. And now we have the full link. So he's going to bring it over to here, and we're just going to walk it out over here. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to make this real loose so that it goes together easily. All right. So come here. So now I have a full next to a half. I'm going to just kind of line those up. And I'm going to take this piece, and I'm going to start weaving it in. Okay, so watch, I'm just starting. Okay, now I just weave this in, just twist it, twist it, twist it, and just follow it down. Okay. Up, got ahead of me. Okay, you want to go down there and with your fence pliers and make a loop. So now we're just going to join these together. Just kind of make a loop there. And watch up here, Alex. We're going to do the same thing. I now pronounce you chain link. There you go. All right, good. All right, now we got that. Now we got a full link. That's beautiful. That was so easy. I once had a job at a hardware store, Albert Brothers Hardware in Belmore, and we would have scrap chain link just left over from projects, and we'd have like 1,000 2-foot pieces, and the owner would have us in the back weaving 2-foot pieces together until we had 50-foot rolls. He didn't throw away anything. Okay, smart man. All right, now we're going to take this off here because it's too close to that post, and we're going to move it. Last one we're going to put right here on the other side. And now we got the temp fence. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pull this as much as we can by hand just to get the slack out. So just keep pulling so we get as much of the slack out as we can. Okay, now that's about as much as we could do by hand, but obviously this is too loose. So what we're going to do is, okay, we're going to use the tool that I didn't show you before, the pull jack. We're going to put this around here and we're going to pull the fence, and then we're going to cut it and tie it off. So I need some slack. So pull jack is, it's kind of like the same equipment that's on a boat trailer. You got to be able to pull this. So to pull this, you're going to just pull up on it, release the tension, push that in, and he's going to pull some wire out. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to put it around here. Do you have an extra bar? We're going to put this somewhere. I think I could stretch this. There's a lot of loose wire here, so I think I'm pretty confident we could stretch quite a bit. So I'm going to drop this garbage bar that we carry on the truck somewhere in the middle here, like this. Okay, and the reason I use the bar is because it's going to pull it evenly, and you'll see why. Now, I don't want to wrap this around the bar until I do what? I want to lift up some of my fittings. Otherwise, I got to take them off, pull them apart, and put them back on, which is a pain in the neck. So Juanito is going to pull up the first 4 tension bands, because that's how good of a guy he is. All right, so he's got 4 tension bands up. All right. Well, no, pull them up higher. Just pull them to the top. All right. What we're going to do now is I'm going to put this around this pole like this. All right. And whoop, I'm going to take this. I'm going to put one on top. And you're going to lower that wire a little bit. Okay. Now, you know, notice I lowered the wire below where the middle tension band is going to go, because I don't want to have to move it. And now I'm going to take the other side, and I'm going to hook it up right here. Now, you just start cranking it, but when you're cranking it, you're going to have somebody lifting it up to make sure it doesn't get snagged anywhere. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to pull this. Just make sure it doesn't get stuck anywhere. Keep lifting, lifting, lifting. How tight? Is it tight? More?
A little bit.
Okay. Now, you want to pull the wire enough that it's tight, but you don't want to pull it enough that the diamonds start expanding, because I could pull this probably another 10 feet, but what's going to happen is the diamonds are going to separate, and as the diamonds separate, what happens to the fence? It gets lower, okay, because you're pulling it and it's becoming a piece of garbage. And if you have to put slats in here for privacy, this is the size you need. If you make those the wrong size, the slats aren't going to fit, and that's a problem. Fence plier is actually a really, really good tool, but you don't really need to own one of these. The reason I like these fence pliers is the tip over here, the sharp tip, makes it easy to put a tie around it and wrap a tie, and this part over here makes it easy to cut the wire. Now what Jose is going to do now is he's going to cut the slack out of there, and he's going to tie it off on that end. Right now we have to cut this and be able to reach the tension band, so I don't want to obviously cut it this far because then I'll never get this over here. I know I could get this one over there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one out right here. So I'm just going to open this up. I'm going to separate them. Okay. Now, which one do you want me to pull out, Jose? This one. Okay, so now he's going to twist that for me. I'm going to follow it on the bottom, and I'm just going to cut it because it's going to be garbage for us. And now he's just going to slip that out. Just the way we joined it together is how we separate it. Very, very, very simple. And now we have a piece of garbage, and we could save this actually and use it for temp ties on the other side. Now we're going to drop the tension bar in on this side. Really simple. Tension bar in. And now, remember, we got two here. We got this one and this one. This one is going to be for this side. This one's going to be for this side. So we're going to bring this up and kind of lift that up a little bit, and we're going to put that in right there. Who's got nuts and bolts?
Juanito.
Juanito, nut and bolt.
Small one?
Yep. You'll put that in there.
I need to do that.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tighten this. I'm going to pull it one more time, make it easy for Jose. Okay, now it's going to be real simple. And now he's going to put the middle one on and put it right in there. Good.
That's a good one?
Yep. See how easy we made this? We pulled it a little bit more and it made it nice and loose.
Good.
Okay. And you want to pull it a little more for the bottom?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Okay. Now, before he tightens that, we're going to take the pull jack off. Okay? Alex, watch. All right. To get the pull jack off, just like we did at the beginning, I'm going to release a little bit of tension. I'm going to push this lever up, and then it's going to come here. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it all the way down, I'm going to push, and I'm going to release. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to bring it all the way down, push, and until it becomes real loose. I bring it all the way down, and now I can release it. I take it off of here, I take it off of here, and then Jose is going to just fish it through there, and boom, and that was so easy. Now we have a whole side done, and you can tighten that up. Obviously, when we do these small pieces, we don't need a pull jack. On a small piece like this, we're going to put the wire in, we're going to pull it by hand, very simple. But before we do that, we're going to pick up those nuts and bolts. All right, we're going to do the same thing now. Again, we're not going to pull it from here down to there because I have that deck in the way over there, and it's just really, really difficult to use a pull jack in a confined area. It's so much easier to do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to unroll the wire back down to that side, and we're going to tie it off, and we're going to do the same thing. place to sit. Okay, now we're done with this. When you wrap these up, don't wrap it up loose. Tie it off to something, okay? Tie it off to something. Just put a little tension on it when you wrap it. Let it pull to you. Otherwise, when you get this all cranked up, you're gonna have a lot of loose cable in there, and it's gonna be hard to use next time, and eventually you're just gonna damage it. So wrap it up with a little bit of tension, like this. And now you're set to go for the next time you need it. Half right there. I'll take the nut. I don't think we'll get to this one, so let's do this one. Yeah, you have your thing? Let me have your fence player.
Yes. Crisp.
Oh, loosen up, give him some slack. We have all the wire up now. We still have to tie it to the framework, but we're going to put the terminal post caps on. We're going to use a rubber mallet. If you only have a regular hammer, not a big deal. You could use a regular hammer. Just take a piece of cardboard or something, cover the cap, tap it down lightly so you don't chip the finish off of it. Otherwise, we're going to take it real easy. We're going to put these on together. And my personal pet peeve is when guys put the caps on and they're crooked. So let's put the caps on straight. So I'm going to hold it nice and straight, and he's going to tap it down, and that's it. We're going to make sure that doesn't come off. And let's go put the rest on. Okay, now we're going to tie the fence. We got to tie the bottom and the top. Since Jose is much younger than me, he's going to tie the bottom, I'm going to tie the top. I have 2 bags of ties. The reason I have 2 bags is we have about 100 feet of wire. Each bag is good for about 100 feet of tying. So we have 1 bag for the top, 1 bag for the bottom. Typically I try to space them every 6 or 7 links on the wire. You can watch me do a few of them. I'm just going to grab a handful of ties so I don't have to keep going back to the bag. Now I'm going to start. You always do the top rail first, because if he does the bottom rail and the top rail isn't, like, look at this. This is below the wire. So as I'm tying it, I'm going to be lifting it up a little bit. Okay, if he does the bottom before I do the top, I can't lift this, and then it just looks terrible. So I'm going to start, and then he's going to follow me doing the bottom. All right, the way to do the ties, the simple way of doing it, is I like to take the tie. I like to be on the side where the wire isn't, first of all. I find it easier, if possible. Obviously here I couldn't be on that side, but if you were in somebody's backyard, you could be on the other side. But over here, I like to be on the side that doesn't have the wire. Why? Because I'm going to take this tie, I'm going to feed it up through the link, and I always go to the link, a full link, and I go to the link that's to the left of me. All right, I'm going to feed it up, and I'm going to catch it like this. Then I'm going to bend this over like this. Now notice the way I'm bending it. I'm bending this over to here, so when this comes around, it's trapping that so it doesn't come off. If I do it the other way, and I tie it like this, and I just come along here, with a stiff wind, this is going to just open up. All right, so I'm going to push it like here, and I'm going to bring it around, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop it, and then they call it like a pigtail. You're going to just take this, and you're just going to tie it around like a pigtail like that, and finish it off. And then I'm just going to count down 7 links. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to repeat the process. I'm going to go to the left, tie it. I'm going to lift it up a little bit. And here, I'm going to bend it. And I'm going to pig tie it like this. And this takes a little bit of practice. I haven't done this in years because I've been a lazy guy. I stay in the office, I pay bills, and I do all kinds of stuff like that. I don't install fencing every day anymore, but here I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I slip this under here. I close it. Again, watch how I'm closing it so that when it wraps around, it's trapping that in there. And pigtailing it like this. I like to get a couple of loops. It makes it nice and strong. I've seen guys do it once and then cut it. Kind of sloppy. I don't like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, now I'm close to a post over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift that up to where I want it to be. I'm going to tie it. And then I'm going to go to the same distance on the other side, you know, and I'm going to start it up again right about here. Now, I don't want to forget to do these, so I'm going to do these. Now, I like to start from the left and wrap it around. So I'm going to grab a link like here. Again, I'm going to push it here so that I kind of trap it. I'm going to come around and I'm going to pigtail it. And how many of them am I going to use here? The same amount as my tension bands. I'm going to put 3 here. So I'm going to go about halfway down. I'm going to wrap it again and pigtail it. And I bend these in. I don't want these sticking out. I don't want to end it like this, okay? That's kind of dangerous if a kid runs up against it. So I want to kind of like bend it and make sure that's not sticking out anywhere. Go. And I'm going to do 3. Again, I start on my left, wrap it around. Now we're going to do the bottom rail, which is, you know, a little bit harder because you're down on the ground. But I like to do, what I do is I kind of take the tie and I close it up a little bit like that. And then I kind of bend it into a circle, kind of something like that. So it makes it a little bit easier, okay? And then I'm going to be on my ground here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed this under, okay? I'm going to feed this under and I'm going to catch the wire like this, and then I'm going to come around with this, and very simple like this. So I'm going to take my tie, I'm going to close this up a little bit, I'm going to make kind of like a little bit of a bend in it, make it easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to bring it under here, and I'm going to catch the link, and then I'm going to Just do the same thing with the pigtail, like this. Okay, so work my way over. If I had a lot of this to do, I'd have a pair of knee pads on, something soft on my knees, but since Juanito is getting a lot of it done and Jose is on the other side getting it done, I'm doing enough that you can see me do it and then I'm done. Okay, so I'm going to take another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to put it under. I'm going to catch the link. And I'm going to come under and pigtail it like that. And continue down the line. But I'm really not going to. I'm going to hand these to Juanito and he's going to finish up on his own. Here you go. All right. All right, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to use some black spray paint and we're going to spray the nuts and the bolts, and we want to be careful not to get overspray on the deck or the neighbor's fence or anything else that doesn't require spray. So I'm going to use a piece of paper when I'm on the bottom just to catch any overspray. Okay, and also over here. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to hang our gate. For homeowners, you can hang the gate any way you want. It's your gate. It doesn't really matter. Nobody's going to tell you you did it wrong. If you're doing it for somebody else, a friend, a relative, a customer, ask them which way they want the gate to open, because they might have a preference. We didn't ask this customer which way she wanted the gate open because I don't think she really cares, but I do. I like to make the gate open. I'm obviously not going to open it towards the ladder, so I have two directions. I could open it this way or I could open it this way. But I see the patio door over there in that direction, and this is the bulk of the yard over here. There's nothing over here except for a shed. So I'm saying to myself, if I were getting up out of the boat and climbing up these stairs, I would want to open the gate this way so that I'm walking towards the door. So I'm going to make the gate open this way. Okay, my preference. If this were a plastic gate, PVC or wood or something where I had to drill holes into it, like aluminum, I would definitely be knocking on the door and saying, can you come out and show me which way you prefer? But it's chain link, so if she calls me up a month from now and says, Dennis, I would rather the gate open the other way, I could just unscrew it in 10 minutes and reverse it, and you'd never know it was hanging the other way. But you can't do that with plastic and wood and aluminum, so make sure you get it right the first time. Here you have a lot of adjusting. All right, first thing I'm going to do is take my two post hinges, okay, and I'm going to install them on the post. I'm going to put my bottom one facing up and my top one facing down. If I do them both facing up, somebody could come by and just lift the gate right off. Okay, so I want to lock it in there, and obviously I don't want them both facing down. I want one to face down, one to face up. So let's get those on first. And I'm going to put the nuts so they face away from the yard. And I'm going to put the top one on facing down. Like so. So I'm going to put this one somewhere about here is good. Aim it towards there. I'm going to tighten it up. I'm not going to tighten it all the way just in case I have to move it later. just so it doesn't move. And since all the wire is facing that way, I'm going to stay the same way with the gate, with the wire on the outside like that. I'm going to take my 2 frame clamps. These are called frame clamps, and I'm going to put these on. Like, what's that? He's going to pick that up and drop that down. Okay, kind of like right about there. Looks good, right?
Yes. So you're going to give it the good face?
Yeah. Yep. All right, we'll tighten those up later. And then we're going to lift that up in here. Nice and tight. Now we have the gate hanging and it swings nice. Nice opening. We're going to put the latch on. I showed you before, the latch has 2 parts. It has the collar and it has the fork latch. So when you order these, you're going to order it, you're going to say 1 3/8 by 2 1/2. The 1 3/8 is the frame of the gate, the same as the top rail of the fence. 1 3/8. The 2 1/2 is the size of the pipe over here. So you got a 1 3/8 by 2 1/2. So we're just going to slip this on somewhere around here. And we're going to tighten that. Now we keep this side a little bit loose because if I do too tight, it won't go up and down. So kind of, and then the other side we're going to tighten all the way. And now we have a fork and latch. Okay. Now this is a little bit loose. See how this is moving back and forth? Because there's a little bit too much play in there. So let's just tighten that up a little bit. Okay, there's a little bit less and it still goes up and down nice and tight. Okay, nice gap, perfect. So when they want to go swimming or whatever they do here, they'll just open this up, and if she wants to put a lock on it, she could buy a little padlock or a clip and put it right in here, and then the latch won't open. So just a little padlock you could put in there, and it's a nice simple latch. They make other kinds of latches. You could do child-proof latches. You could do latches with locks and keys and all kinds of stuff. This is just simple. That's what she wanted. You have a complete fence here now. All right, so it's about 2:15 now. This whole project took us about just under 5 hours, and that was with a lot of time for instructional. You know, a job like this goes pretty quickly because, like I said before, we're doing most of the work in the shop. We're cutting the pipe and wiring the gate, all that stuff that people would do in the field. We already did it before we got here, and we had a plan, and we sorted out all the material, and we had 4 guys here who knew what they were doing and worked well together. So I think it came out pretty good. What do you think, guys?
I think so.
All right, so Alex, why don't you do the advertisement?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in any of the material you saw in this video for your own project, please text or call the number below. We sell and deliver nationwide. Also, if you are interested in having us come install the fence for you, give us a call or text at the number below to arrange an estimate with myself or with Dennis, where we will come, measure your property, and then give you a quote.
From Montauk to Manhattan, Westchester, Yonkers, Putnam County. Where is Putnam County? We'll go to anywhere, just, you know, Hawaii. Will we go to Hawaii?
We're going to Nebraska.
We're going in Nebraska. We're going to work for corn.
And last but not least, if you enjoy this type of content, please do us a favor and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot, and we're going to be posting instructional tutorials regularly.
And also, if you have any questions, if you're just not sure what to do, stop by the store and we can help you out. Come in with a diagram, some pictures, whatever. And if you're not in the area and you have a problem, give us a call. Send us, we'll help. With that kind of people, we will help. So give us a call. Take care.
Thanks
Bye.
for watching.